Hey, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Melly Loves Death Metal. Doing a different video today. I've been wanting to record this for a couple of weeks now. Finally got off my ass and I'm doing it this morning. This is a response video to Matt or Red Altar of Madness. Link will be in the description to his YouTube video. If you're not following him, you should be. He is one of the best YouTubers out there right now. I absolutely love his videos. He's got an awesome collection he shows off. He's great at discussing music and just awesome. Also follow him on Instagram too. The captions that he writes on his Instagram images are nuts. I don't know. He's just got a really good creative mind. Very good writer. So shout out to Matt. He did this video a couple of weeks ago. It's been about actually maybe more than a couple of weeks. Where he showed off in his collection 5 discographies that he fully owns. He did all vinyl. I'm doing all CD today because that was easier for me to pull from. And I know for a fact I own every single studio album of these bands. As you guys know, the vinyl is a slow moving rebuild right now, so CD was a lot easier. He also did another video where he talks about 10 discographies he doesn't think he'll ever fully own. I'm definitely going to be recording that today as well. That'll be up tomorrow. And I tried to today pull out some bands that I haven't seen other YouTubers respond with. I think I have at least 3, maybe 3 in here today that I have not seen other people show off. And I've also never shown off them on this video, so they're making their debut today. And then 2 that are just, I have them all. I'm going to talk about them and show them. One of them I've already made a full dedicated video on, but I'm pretty sure not everybody has seen those, so this is your opportunity to watch that now. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first band that I wanted to talk about and show off that I own all of their catalog studio albums is Origin. Yes, Origin, the technical death metal band out of Kansas. They are by far one of my favorite death metal bands. I think they're a little bit underrated, and I feel like they just don't get the praise as they should, in my opinion. So I have their whole entire discography here of their studio albums, and then I have one comp that I'll show off that is just a compilation of like I think an EP that they did back in 1998. So these are out of order, I just realized, so that's annoying. But we'll start with the first album that came out in 2000 on Relapse Records, and for some reason, I have 2 copies of it. I don't know how that happened, but I do. This is their first album, like I said, just self-titled Origin. Gotta love that jewel case glare. But yeah, for some reason I have 2 copies of this. So one of my really close friends is a big Origin fan too, so I'm gonna see if he has this album and I'll just send it to him. But this was out on Relapse Records. I'm pretty sure these are both first presses. So my guess is I was at a store, I didn't think I had it, I bought it, came home and I had it, which is, we're all guilty of that. We are all guilty of that. So that's the first album. I love that album, but the next one is probably one of my favorites in their discography. And also, I have 2 of these, I think, too. I do, yes. I don't know what's up with me. But Informis, Infinitus, Inhumanitus, I can never say it wrong. So yeah, for some reason I have 2 of these. And judging by the price tag, I guaranteed I probably saw this for sale. It was only $4 when I snagged it back in whenever. And I grabbed it just because, and now I have 2 copies. Again, I'm a huge Origin fan, so whatever, 2 copies of whatever. I mean, eventually I'll probably send these to somebody, but I found these. I finally started, I don't know if you can kind of see the box right there. I finally started going and digging out all of my tape and CDs that I have not unpacked since I've moved into this new condo over a year ago. And so I found some of these duplicates in there. And people always ask me, why are you selling all of your music? I'm not selling all my music. I'm a collector scum. I buy duplicates of shit, and then I finally stop hoarding and I start cleaning and organizing and sell the duplicates. So this is proof that I do that. So that's the second full-length album, was 2002. These are all on Relapse Records. And the next one is Echoes of Decimation, which is probably my favorite Origin CD at the moment. Again, they're just one of my favorite death metal bands as a whole. This was also out on Relapse Records. The iconic, I feel like that's an iconic album cover. I think everybody recognizes that album cover. All space themed, death metal, tech death. Some of my favorites. And this band just does it right, in my opinion. So that's the third full length. That was in 2005. 2008, we have Antithesis. I can never say it. This one right here, still on Relapse Records. A little bit of an underrated album, in my opinion. Some of these actually have not been reissued in a very long time. So they've actually are kind of hard to find, I've found. So Relapse should do an alumni repressing like they've been doing with like Mortician, and we all know they repress Death every time they get an opportunity to. Pig Destroyer. They've just been doing so many reissues of their alumni. They should do some Origin, because some of these have been out of print for such a long time, especially this one. So this is a good album. I think it's a little bit underrated in their discography. Next, we have Entity that came out in 2011. Now we're on Nuclear Blast. This one, again, underrated album. This was probably... Did I see this? I think I saw this tour live. I can't remember. It was either this one or the next one. I can't remember. But yeah, when they went out on Nuclear Blast is when I started to collect their stuff. So I think that was when I started to collect CDs and stuff again. So yeah, good album. Love that one. The next one is probably one of my favorites as well. And I did see this on this tour, Omnipresent. So it has, I kept the hype sticker on this. It says, see us at Summer Slaughter 2014, which I did. I did see them on this tour, and they were incredible. This band is so good live. If you ever get the opportunity to see them, absolutely do it. They will fucking destroy your face off because they're so heavy and just so good. So there's that one. And now we're getting to their newer ones. 2017, Unparalleled Universe. This came out on Nuclear Blast as well. This one is super easy to find. These last three that I'm showing are super easy to find. Nuclear Blast has these in press. You can get these on Amazon. I have 3 records, vinyls in my collection, and these last 3 are the ones I'm showing you. I was gonna pull them, but I figured since I'm only showing CDs today, I'll just show that. But yeah, you can get these pretty much anywhere. There's also a Brujeria. How do you say Brujera's name? Cover on here. It's all right, not too shabby of a cover. And then their latest that came out in 2022. This was a sleeper. I feel like not many people talked about this, including myself. This is Chaosmos, Nuclear Blast. This is a really good album. I think that they're one of these bands that just remain consistent. They have a consistent discography. They haven't written a bad album, in my opinion. So there you go. The teeth on this tray are broken, so I had to hold the CD in place. And then, of course, just because I have it, I'll show it. Here's a comp. Abiogenesis, coming into existence. This is an EP that they put out in 1998, and then there's also some extra tracks on here. I think there are, what are these, demos? Yeah, they must be, or something, I can't remember. But I had this, so I figured I would show it just because. So that's Origin. I don't know if they're in the process of making another album. I meant to look into that today, but I forgot. But like I said, underrated band. Love that band. You should definitely check them out if you're not familiar with their discography. Especially if you're a tech death fan. Just awesome live. So, all right, the next discography that I want to show you is pretty much like, yeah, everybody's going to show this one, but I'm showing it because I've never shown these off on my channel in regards to the collection updates, and that, of course, is Death. So Relapse, like I said, they suck Death dry and reissue shit every year. And with, I think, like 2 years ago now, when they had their Black Friday sale, not last year, but the year before, I picked up all of these for $5 each. And the reason why I got them is because they're 2 discs, the reissues, and every single disc on them has something extra. So the second disc on here is the original Florida session for Scream Bloody Gore, and then rehearsals from August 20th, 1986. So every single one of these Death albums has some sort of a different extra, like, tracks on there. It's 2-disc thing, and that's the reason why I bought these. So they were $5 a piece. So yeah, here's Scream Bloody Gore. Again, everybody showed off Death for these videos, but I haven't shown off these particular CDs on my channel. So Leprosy, as everybody knows, my all-time favorite death metal album. This has some Leprosy rehearsals from September 23rd, 1987, and then December 5th, 1987. So, and I have listened to all of these extra tracks and stuff. Pretty cool. There is one CD here that has like where they're just messing around and jamming out and talking and stuff like that. And it's so cool just to have that like archived and put in my collection. So Spiritual Healing is next, obviously. This has Spiritual Healing rehearsals. It doesn't say from what year, and then Spiritual Healing and studio instrumentals. So there's instrumentals on here, which are pretty cool. And then Joke and Jam tracks. This is the one. So that pretty cool to hear. So yeah, these are still available on their website, not for $5, but if you want to wait till Black Friday, they might be available again for $5. They always do that sale every year. Worth getting into your collection if you're a Death fan, if you don't own any of these like extra things. I'm sure that they put these on stuff before, but I just know that I didn't have in my collection. So Human is next, obviously. This one has Human's instrumental studio tracks, which again, the instrumentals are things I didn't think I needed. And then I heard them, and now every once in a while, I'm like, I kind of feel like listening to that. And it's kind of just fun just to jam out and hear just that with no vocals to it. And then there's also the Human demos from March 25th, 1991 on here. So, pretty cool. Again, big Death fan, so. And then this one, oh wait, nope, I did it out of order. Individual Thought Patterns is next. Okay, so here's the Individual Thought Patterns one. This one has Live in Germany, April 13th, 1993. And then there's a studio outtake of The Exorcist on here as well. I actually have not listened to this bonus disc yet, and that is just simply because Individual Thought Patterns is my least favorite Death album. So I haven't prioritized listening to this one yet. I will. I actually might do it today now that I'm saying that. So. And then the next one is Symbolic, as everybody knows, not on Relapse Records. This is a Roadrunner Records reissue that I got fairly recently in my collection, and I showed it off. I had never owned it on CD before. And then we're back to Relapse with The Sound of Perseverance. This one has demos from 1998, which is funny because in parentheses it says no bass on them. So that's, and then some other demos from 1997 too. So the second CD is just demos here. So yep, so that's my Death Studio album collection on CD. Like I said, they're available now, but they're not $5. But Relapse does that Black Friday sale every year where they do sell all their CDs for $5. So if you want to wait, they'll probably still be available. They reissue the shit out of Death. They just reissued all of the tapes again. So those are available too. Okay. So next, I'm going to show off the discography that I actually did a whole entire video on and dedicated to, but I'm assuming not everybody watched that, so I figured I'd show it off again today. And that is Necrophobic. There's a lot here. So now, I recently, in that video, talked about I purchased all of the reissues that were in slipcases that made this special little pentagram image on the side. So yeah, that's what I'm going to show off. And then I have the rest of their discography just on regular jewel case because that's what they pressed them on. So these might be a little out of order just because they're in the order of what the pentagram looks like. I realized that when they made this, it kind of drives me a little bit nuts, but whatever. So this is obviously the first one, the Nocturnal Silence. Like I said, slipcase, jewel case. So there you go. Iconic 1993. And these are all out on Century Media that they reissued on. So they might still be available. I'm not too sure. I bought them right when they first came out. Okay, so the next one technically is not a full length, but it's a part of this set to make the picture, and that is, the hell is this called again? Spawn of Evil? Can't remember. Yeah, Spawned by Evil, and this is an EP from 1996, and which is probably one of the best EPs ever to be made in the history of music. I love this EP so much. So, and then next, obviously, Dark Side, iconic album. Don't need to discuss that anymore. Admittedly, the third Antichrist, underrated album. I love this album. There's that one. And then we have Blood Hymns, again, another underrated album. And then we have Hiram Thursum. I can never say this one. Never ever say this one, unfortunately. And then we have another one that is not technically a full length. This is a compilation of some, let's see what's on here, of some demos and EPs. Pretty much all of the recordings from when, I am blanking on his name, Dave. Fuck, what the hell? David Parland, from when he was alive, still in the band. Rest in peace to him. So there we go. This is some of their best work in my opinion. I love that shit. And then now we go to Death to All. Again, another underrated album in their discography. There you go. And then Womb of Lethu, I think is how you say that. I can never say it correctly. So that's the slipcase set, and then now we're getting into their previous 3 albums that they've put out in recent years. These are just on jewel cases. If they ever do put them out on a slipcase, or they actually might have already, I'm not too sure. I'll get those. But Mark of the Necrogram, which is in 2018, good album. Dawn of the Damned, which came out in 2020, underrated album in my opinion. I think this is a really, really good album. It came out in the COVID years, and there was just so much that came out that year, but I know that I definitely showed it off and talked about it. And then their latest, In the Twilight Gray, which is one of my favorite releases to come out this year. Love this album. Necrophobic, again, is another one of those bands where I feel like they don't have a single dud in their discography. They're just continuing to write good music. So, yeah. Necrophobic. And like I said, I did a whole entire video on this. So, if you haven't seen that, then you got to see this now, but you might have already watched it and you're probably already seeing that. So, okay, next I'm doing one of my favorite black metal bands. Feel like they get a lot of hate and they get a lot of negativity, and I mean, there's some things that are warranting that, and I will admit. But for me, I don't think that they're overrated or anything like that, or sellouts or whatever. I think they found success, and it is what it is. I love this band, and Mordant Red actually just did a video about them. It made me happy that he felt the same way I did, and I'm talking about is Watain. So you guys know who Watain are. I don't think I need to talk too much about them, but the Swedish black metal band, they've been around since the late 90s. They have several albums out now, and I do own all of them. This is a band where I feel like they haven't ever written a bad album, but some are way better than others. And After Lawless Darkness, which we all know is probably their best album, it was hard to follow those up. So I feel like some of those follow-up albums are a little bit hated on for that reason, but they're not bad by any means. So here is Rabid Death's Curse. This was on Drakkar Productions, and that is the version that I have. I think Season of Mist may have just reissued these or got the rights to it or something. I'm pretty sure. I might be completely wrong about that, but I know that Season of Mist has reissued a lot of these, so they're pretty easy to get now, especially this one. So, but this is awesome. Great debut album. This is some of my favorite black metal. Like, if I'm ever just in the mood for black metal that's not like atmospheric or raw or anything like that, usually Watain is who I grab. Second album, 2003, Cassis Luciferi. Again, Drakkar Productions. So this is an awesome album. I love that album too. Number 3, Sworn to the Dark, and now we are on Season of Mist, right? Is this the Season of Mist one? I can't remember. Yes. So there we go. Another good album. Their first 4 albums are my favorite. These are the ones I listen to the most. Not gonna lie. So just good stuff here. Straightforward, good Swedish black metal. Again, I don't think they're overrated. Whatever. I hear all the criticism and stuff like that, and just whatever. I don't fucking care. Obviously, their best, Lawless Darkness, Season of Mist as well. Perfect album in my opinion. This one is hard to follow up, I will admit, but like I said, I don't think they have a single bad album. Just some are way better than others. And so the next one, the follow up from 2013, The Wild Hunt, admittedly was been my least favorite one for a long time now. There are some really, really great tracks on here, and then there are some that are boring as hell, and I don't really care too much for. So this one, admittedly, I listened to the least amount. But again, it's hard to follow up that album. So I feel like this kind of fell victim to that. It was a 3-year hiatus too in between, but obviously not long enough. And then the next one, 2018, Trident Wolf Eclipse. The only fucking digit whatever thing this is that I have that I wish I just had the jewel case, which someday if I'm ever going around I can see if they press it on jewel case. But yeah, it does this dumb thing. And it's just beat to shit because I don't know. But this is a good album. I like it. But I think their next album, their latest album that came out in 2022, The Agony Ecstasy of Watain, is really good. They are a little bit more back to form here again. That wasn't the only digipack. This is the other one that I own too. This one is a nice one though, I will admit. And they're now on Nuclear Blast with this release. So yeah. But if I ever can find jewel cases of these, I will probably get them. I'm one of those like try to keep them all the same format and stuff like that. But for now, there's that. And then they did just release a live version of this. I can't remember what it's called. Die in Fire, Live in Hell, Agony, Ecstasy over Stockholm. It came out, it's from November 2023. I don't own that, but I did listen to it. I streamed it when it came out not that long ago, and I really, really liked it. I don't have any of their EPs that they have out, which I should need to get, but again, I'm just showing off studio albums today, so there you go. Watain. Say what you want, but it's one of my favorite black metal bands, and I don't consider myself a black metal connoisseur, so there you go. And then finally, the last discography I'm going to show off in this video today, a little bit of wild card here. I figured I'm going to start littering this shit in as I go. Is an Italian power metal band. This is a new band of mine that I just recently started getting into and listened to their shit one night and then went and bought all their CDs, and I just got them in recently, so I'm going to show them off, and that is Windrose. The first full-length 2012, Shadows Over Lothardruin, whatever. There we go. I don't know how to say that. This is out on Distortion Music Group 2022. I don't know who that is. Yeah, this is just your straightforward, cheesy-ass, Tolkien worshipping power metal. And that's why I liked it. I fell in love with it. It's just, I don't know. It's goofy, so weird, but I figured I would show it off today, talk about it. So that's their first full length. And then 2015 was Wardens of the West Wind. This was also out on that Distortion Music Group. Awesome album. Love this album. This is actually what got me into them. I heard this randomly on Apple Music. It started auto-playing after I was listening to something else, and I was like, okay, I like that. And this is just straight up, you can just tell Lord of the Rings stuff right there. So yeah. So after I heard this album, then I went and I bought the rest of them, and they came in within the last couple of weeks. Their third full-length, 2017, Stone Hymn. This is another phenomenal album. God damn, I love this album too. This is out on Inner Wound Recordings. So these are all really easy to find. You can get them all on Amazon. So if you want a new power metal band in your collection, go for it. This is probably my favorite album that they put out so far, the one that I've been listening to the most, Winter Saga, and we are now on Napalm Records. And yeah, we've got Gimli here. And yeah, it's just so cheesy. But just we got some like straight up World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings worship music right now. But I'm a huge nerd, so I appreciate it. And then their latest, Warfront, which is also out on Napalm. I didn't get a jewel case of this. I don't think they even printed it. It's just a digibook, digipack or whatever. But it's nice. It is what it is. Napalm does a really good job with their digipacks, so I don't typically get too upset when I get stuff from them. But you know, we all know Earache is the worst when it comes to reissuing their CDs on digipacks. So that's what they currently have out right now, but they do have a new album coming out, I think next month, called Troll Slayer. I do have that on pre-order, so you will be seeing that in a recent collection update. So that is my 5 full-length discographies, what I wanted to show off today. I will be doing a response video to the 10 discographies I know that I'm never going to fully own. Probably going to record that right now while I have time. So yeah, you're going to see the same death metal podcast. Shout out to Roy. I will link his YouTube, Death Metal Radio. What is it called again? Death Metal Radio, Death Metal Podcast. I don't know. He streams like every Friday. And I snagged this shirt from him to support the channel, Death Metal Podcast. So yeah, if you want the shirt, I'll link in the description where you can go buy it. Shout out to him. So yeah, that's all I have. And let me know in the comments what 5 full-length discographies you have in your collection. And I actually might make a vinyl one someday if I ever get some discographies in full. But right now, I don't. So, but yeah. See you guys in the next one.